There is something that I would like to spend some precious time discussing, and it may be one of the single most important subjects that we will ever talk about, and that is simply mother. What I'm referring to is your own biological mother. And the reason for this is it's a time period in our existence where we are under a great deal of emotional stress. There's a lot of insecurity about health, well being, economic, political, global phenomenon. And all of this interwoven activity or stimulation is very much related to how we process feelings and information. The mother's side of the family is different than the father's side of the family. The father's side of the family is really more about the outer phenomenon of how we relate to the physical social world, how we relate to other people, individually, groups, and our global connection, and even our connection to the larger universe. It's the outer world. But the mother side is about your own personal experience of who you are and how you access feelings, change, truth, your authenticity. Most of the things that regulate your existence, they have to do with your mother's side of the family. So I'm urging you to consider whatever your current level of feeling is about your own biological mother, that you spend more time with it. Doesn't matter whether she's passed or not. Just spend a little bit more time feeling the significance of how her existence continues to affect you today. My own mother passed 10 years ago, but her influence biologically, genetically, emotionally, it's still circulating inside of me as it is continuing to circulate inside you. I'm not saying so much that you need to change her, because I wouldn't suggest you do that. I would suggest that you deepen your own appreciation for how that gateway of your mother moves you into the position that we call the number one son position, mother's relationship to her father. That relationship is truly sacred because that opens up the respiratory function. It opens up all of the channels of potential enthusiasm. Life itself is affected by how your mother felt about her own father and how your grandfather, your mother's father, felt about his daughter, your mother. There is a circuit between the two of them that affects everything about you. So if you want to help yourself, take the time, if she's available, to ask your mother about her childhood and especially her relationship to her father. Yes, mother's mother is also important. And eventually, yes, we really need to get there because that connection between your mother and her mother is the primary circuitry that regulates your self image. It regulates the water systems in the body, it regulates your empathy, and then above that, it corresponds to your biochemical functions of your pancreas and your ability to be able to eliminate through the body kidneys, bowels, bladder, heart. Yes, mother's mother is critically important. They all are, by the way. But I'm urging you to just spend more emotional time with your mother and augment your current feelings in a specific way. Take your own feelings about your mother currently and as a child, whatever her life was, and extend it just a little farther to include her father and her mother and your own biological great grandparents. Try to feel them. Then extend that intentionally and to take the same feelings that you have with them, as little as they might be, and extend that into nature to look at grass, rocks, trees, lakes, rivers, oceans, mountains, and open that feeling of your own mother. Because your ability to access the sensitivities to all of that, including the cycles and seasons of the day and the month and the season, it's all related to how you feel about your mother. But if you are aware of that and you feel your mother and you extend through your family tree, and sometimes if you want to, stop in a single location to spend time with your mother's mother's mother, a few seconds, few minutes, hours if you want, or your mother's father's father, just be there with some sense of appreciation, gratitude for what they did give you that's definitely positive and healthy, and the willingness to receive their pain and suffering because you did anyway. It becomes your law of attraction. Then, if you extend your present feelings with your mother out through your family tree and out into nature, it gives you the opportunity to knowingly and intentionally receive the positive, healthy functions of nature to vitalize your own feelings about your family tree, your mother, and yourself. Then, when you're ready, pulse back out again and take that feeling to all the mothers around you in your community, all the mothers in your country, all the mothers on the planet, and then include the mothering of birds for their baby chicks, whales for their own calves, all the animals on earth, everything that is of the earth, sometimes called the Gaia, Mother Earth. Open up that diameter of the appreciation of all motherhood and the continuation and the loving preservation of life as we know it. Take that larger boundary. You can keep going if you want and go into the Mother of Stars and the Divine Feminine. That's your choice. I recommend you try it. And then bring it all back to your own personal feelings about your mother. Do your best not to judge what she's done, what she didn't do right, what she could have done. Don't judge her addictions and her weaknesses or her ignorance or her bias or her religion. And just go ahead and let her tell you whatever she says. Most mothers are not likely to tell you the truth, honestly, because sometimes they don't even know why they feel what they do or where it came from. Judge nothing. Just feel your own mother. And then, in whatever rate you want to, like a breath, you can go out and come back in. Just go out, come back in. This simple exercise will lubricate instruments of your own heart, not just emotionally, but also physically. Your willingness to go past the boundary of your own biological mother and your own genetic tree, and then your community, country, global, and beyond. This elasticity of your own ability to open will open many forms of experiences that hard to even describe. I won't even go there. But it all comes back to just spending a little bit more time with dear old mom. Later on, I'll come back and describe how this relationship of your mother to her father affects your breathing, and your grandfather's relationship to his own mother is your pineal, your skin, panic, night terror, anxiety. And then there's a line that goes into allergies. We don't need to go into all of the implications of the unresolved feelings in your own genetic family. But going past them, expanding on and coming back, will lubricate the circulation of life force moving through you and nature and your family and you and your mother. And then you basically let her be what she is. She's a soul. She biologically produced the conception, gestation, birth of your existence, and she is just a soul. She is your sister. Yes, I know there's a certain role yet mothers have, but she, as a soul now, you're equal. How you treat her affects you and all future generations. So just consider this. Try a little bit. Just sit outside or sit where you are, and then just for a few hours or days or weeks, you will not be done with your mother for the rest of your life. Whatever you think your current comprehension is or utilization of her existence, it will continue to grow. And when you pass through this world, it will continue to grow. So she's important. So I urge you to take the time and just appreciate it as best you can. No, it's not Mother's Day, but every day is Mother's Day. See you soon.